Now, the situation is, and this is something we warned about days ago, is this debris dam pretty much is holding up this hillside. And if they're not careful in how this debris dam is removed, this hillside will slide. And that risk remains high as long as this hillside is wet. It's still high because it's been made unstable. But the water here typically is 70 feet deep. So there's 70 feet of debris dam on this river. Now, they made a big hoo-ha about opening up the Powerhouse and finally getting it discharged. And that was really an important event. But we warned them days ago. Let me just show you that warning just so you know what I'm talking about. It said, if you're too aggressive removing the Feather River debris dam, the Oroville Spillway could slide and dam the Powerhouse equals Orville Dam is lost. And what they did is they got the Powerhouse up and running, but then they found out that it was eating laterally into this debris dam. And that, if this debris dam moves, this debris dam is actually buttressing up this hill. You remove this debris dam, and the hill's at even greater risk of sliding down. And if the spillway's opened up, then it's even at greater risk. And notice how there's still one deep wet area here. As we said, this area is 70 feet deep typically. Now, when they opened up the Powerhouse and it started eating in, they were worried about this hillside collapsing. And they say, well, why would that happen? Well, hillside collapse is actually happening all up and down the river system. This one hasn't collapsed yet because it's got this giant earthen dam debris field holding it up. Now, this is from the San Francisco Chronicle, and this is where this photo is from too. And we will link you to it so you can read the article itself. But basically, it's the wet hillsides. Now, what you need to understand about this area is that some of this stuff is bedrock. If you look at all this gravel in here, all this bedrock colored gravel, this entire hillside, this whole area is basically tiger striped with invisibly tiger striped, where the rock, where the quote bedrock has been volcanically heated and chemically worn throughout geological time. So you can step a few feet and be on solid bedrock, and then you step into another few feet, and then that area, I mean, it's like a gravel dam basically. It just comes apart, and that's what's happened here. But it is the only thing buttressing it. And if you look at the flow rates from given out by the California Department of Water Resources, this outflow rate now is 0. So the lake levels are rising, and they're not putting anything out because what they're trying to do right now is dig this deeper. They want it deeper because they don't want it to get wider. So, despite making this big thing about opening it up, and then they immediately had to turn and shut it down. They should have been better prepared. But so far, they've actually been doing a very good risk mitigation job. They seem to understand what the risks are, but they're not telling the public. If the lake is full and this spillway is activated, or the emergency spillway is activated, that's your sign that you should have been out of there hours ago. Anytime this spillway is on, this entire hillside, all the way off east to the Powerhouse, is at risk of collapse, and it's basically flooding on down. And again, if that happens, that shuts off the Powerhouse, floods it, dam control is lost, and then again, it's up to Mother Nature. If I lived in Oroville, I would already have everything moved out of my house and stored in some sort of storage facility upstream. And I probably wouldn't let my family live there either. But the real risk is if you wait to get out until they notify the herd, you're stuck. The signs are this spillway running and lake levels high. Hopefully they can dig this deeper, reinforce the side so it doesn't eat into the debris dam, and then control the flow through the Powerhouse. That's the optimal thing. They've got a window to try to do it, but it's going to take seasons to fix this. They're going to have to strip every bit of dirt off of this hill, every bit of fill dirt. And In the meantime, what they're going to do is try to shotcrete this in and line this area like a swimming pool, because they know they're going to have to use a spillway again. And if this spillway is on, it is not a good thing.